Here with my channel update for January 2016. Yes, a month of 2016 is already gone. A little bit of a quiet one for me on YouTube because we were away a little bit and you know, kids are on school holidays and things like that. Been extremely busy. Right, back again after getting interrupted in the first couple of minutes of a video. It's the story of my life. It's another reason why I haven't been making many videos. Anyway, I have 4 kids, I have a wife, I have work. It gets very busy and hectic, and sometimes it can be a little hard to do other stuff. So I haven't been playing very many games. I'll watch some of the movies I've got at Christmas time, but I haven't played a lot of games. Yeah, this month I didn't actually pick up much other stuff than what I've showed in videos anyway. Whilst I was down at our holiday home, I went to the local op shop and I got a couple of PC games. As you can see, they were $1 a game. So Panzer Elite Collection, probably most interesting, that one. I've always liked the Panzer games. And mentioned several times I like mech games. And it's Heavy Gear. Don't know whether it's just a bit, I'm not sure which number it is. I said I haven't taken those stickers off. So a couple of PC games to you know, try on. I mean, since I've built a new gaming PC to play Elite and to help out with StarCraft 2, because the latest expansion, because I found I could only play it in a window. Yeah, I've obviously, you know, I flick through the PC sections in some of these shops sometimes. Now, I did get another pickup, which is not games. It's actually somebody's collection of Spectre Video material. Now, there's 2 of these large, heavy folders. They've got dividers in them. I'm just getting to the things. Now, some of them are photocopies and some of them are the original articles. But they're the actual original Spectre Video and MSX magazines. Now this one's all photocopies, but I believe there might be some issues in here that I don't have scanned and up on my website. For those of you who don't know, I've actually got a whole archive of all of these magazines available for download on my website. Let's have a look at the second folder. Yeah, so this one actually has issues of Computer Forum, which was the magazine that was published initially. You could buy it in you know, newsagents and things like that, so its distribution was quite large, and that's the one that actually morphed into my magazine later on. Now there's real ones in there and there's photocopied ones in there again. I haven't really had a chance to have a proper look through these, but there's even some yearbooks of the other Spectre Video magazine as well, and I'm sure I don't have scans of those. So a bit of scanning to do, but I'll get them uploaded onto my website at some stage. Now, some of this stuff was water damage, so I'm not going to be able to get all of it back. The ones in those hard folders are fine. Obviously this is a scan of a book. Unfortunately, a quite damaged MSX computing. I do believe I've got this one though. I don't think that's salvageable, unfortunately. Unless that's only a photocopy of a book. Probably more interesting some of these other things, which luckily those first couple of items sheltered them from the water. So the Melbourne MSX Users Group magazine. Melbourne MSX and Spectre Video Users Group Incorporated. Spectacle, it was called. And there seems to be quite a few issues to that one. So that one was for June 1991, and this one is for August-September 1991. So once again, haven't had a chance to go through this properly, but there's all sorts of lots of copies of Spectacle by the looks of it. Just having a bit of a flick through here while I've got a chance. Another folder here which I haven't had a look through. And that's, let's have a look. It's got some old flyers and things, obviously looking at the TRS-80s and things like that at some stage. We have an Amstrad CPC 1-8 brochure in here, so obviously the person, this is their original research into what computers they wanted to buy, I reckon. Now this also came with a computer, now, but it was in Melbourne, so I the best, it wasn't practical to ship, and so I arranged with another fellow YouTuber in Melbourne that they take delivery of the system. They had to be within range of the person, and basically I told them they could keep the computer because I already have two of them. Now it is a spectral video, I won't spoil the model because I know that person will want to do a video at some stage. And it was actually the winner of my competition last month as well, so I thought that was rather fitting, especially since he'd expressed such an interest in the MSX machines, to get him a very nice MSX machine. So that's Hellfire 64, by the way, if you don't can't remember who I'm talking about. So yeah, I mean, I already had two of them, I didn't need another one, and I like to that MSX can spread around and more people can enjoy it, and they're great machines and great ones to experience now, so the more people that have them the better, I believe. Alright, so that's it for the pickups. It's a bit light on there, but as I said, I did get quite a lot for Christmas and New Year's, and I haven't made a tremendous amount of progress getting through those games, so I really don't think it's appropriate to start buying some more. Next I'd like to answer a community question, this one by TRexSpaceStation, a really nice guy in the UK. He does gameplays and the occasional pickup video, and also asks questions and also answers other questions and everything. A really nice guy. He's into his Mega Drive games at the moment, and working his way through those. And he came up with 5 interesting questions designed to show games in people's collections that you don't necessarily always see, because the same questions keep on popping up and people, you know, answer with the obvious games in their collection. So, and they're quite good questions. So the first one is a game you got for less than £5. Now this is obviously UK money. Australian dollar's not very good, so that would be something over $10 in our neck of the woods. But actually, at a local, it wasn't a games fair, it was more a tabletop gaming market where people could bring along their miniatures and board games and things that they didn't want and put them out for sale, and everybody just goes around and buys off each other. And I went there with my daughter, late, we didn't know about it at the time, and I walked around, and sitting on the table were 2 original Nintendo cartridges. I couldn't believe my eyes, let alone were there Nintendo cartridges at a market, which you just do not see down here. But the titles, now one was more expensive than the other, so one comes in, and it was Probotector, and I got that for $5 Australian, and The Adventure of Link, which I think I got for $15, so $20 to those two, but individually they both come under the thing, because $15 is probably only just over that with the conversion rate, to give you an idea. So Probotector, which I actually enjoy playing more than the American version Contra for some reason. I mean, I know they're the same game, just with different graphics. I enjoy playing that one more. So now, a game that was recommended to me. I take part in the Tubers High Score competition, at which at the moment there is the World Cup has just been started. it's not too late to join. There's a couple more spots left in the roster, but it's about to start this coming weekend, so unless you're watching this video straight away, it'll be too late. And during that, you play a different game every week, or sometimes a fortnight when everybody's busy. But it's introduced me to some games, especially arcade games that I've never played before. And I mean, this is a good year ago. We played Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, and it's probably the first beat 'em up, so that I've actually probably sat down and played properly. It goes through a particular era. When I was running my shop, I was very busy. I didn't have time to play arcade games, and the fighting games were all the rage, and they have never really appealed to me. And there were some beat 'em up type games in the arcades, but I'd never really sat down and played one. And I played Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, and I really enjoyed it. And I actually mentioned that I enjoyed it so much, and some of the guys mentioned, well, there's lots of games on the home systems, and you should play, things like Final Fight and Streets of Rage. And I realised that I actually had a copy of Streets of Rage for the Mega Drive, and played it and enjoyed it. And I've also got it for the Master System, and I hadn't played it properly either. It was one of those Master System games that I got in quite a large lot. I think of about 40 games. And when you get a large lot of games like that, it's very easy to not put the appropriate time into the games, which is why I try and not do that anymore. So, Streets of Rage. And it got me into the beat 'em up genre altogether. I actually quite enjoy looking for different beat 'em up games to play and add to my collection. I do tend to go for a bit, not as bad as shoot 'em ups, but some money sometimes, and I'm probably not prepared to pay much money at all for these, so getting them slowly. I'm just trying to remember the name. There's a Neo Geo one that I wouldn't mind getting. That's Mutant. I can't remember the name. The second part of it. Anyway, I obviously can't want it too much. But anyway, number 3 question: a game that is challenging. Right, and I haven't even picked the hardest one. It's a single screen, screen by screen puzzle type game. You can get it for most systems. It's one of the games that is most converted across all systems. So if you want a challenging game, you can't go any further than Lode Runner. This is the MSX version, which is very good. There's actually Lode Runner 2 and Lode Runner Championship Edition for the MSX, but there pretty much is a version of Lode Runner for just about every system out there. Started on the Apple II. Apple II version is one version I don't have yet. But like, this cartridge has 100 levels in it, and these are pretty hard. But you should see how hard the ones in Lode Runner 2 are, or even worse, the Championship Edition. So definitely challenging game. Right, a game you wished you played more. Now this is going to surprise some people. I have told this story before, but it's actually the original Metal Gear Solid. I had a PlayStation. I bought a PlayStation 1. I got into it fairly late. I had things like Alien Trilogy, Tomb Raider, and a few other games. And for Christmas, my wife bought me the Metal Gear Solid pack with the cardboard surround. So these two came together. But I also bought a GameCube on release just before that Christmas. We went down to our holiday home, and I of course took the GameCube. I did pop this in and play it for an hour on Christmas Day, and think that's great, I'm going to play that when I get back and get right back into it. And while we're away at the shack that time, somebody broke into our house and pretty much stole everything. And that's when I lost all my Nintendo 64 stuff, and a big collection there, and my PS1. And instead of rebuying the same stuff at the time, I decided to use that money and buy a PlayStation 2. And I got a PlayStation 2 and 10 games at the time, and each of those games sort of represented games that I'd had on the PlayStation 1. And it took me a very long time to track down another copy of this, and I have played some of the later Metal Gear games, but I've never gone back and played this one properly. Something I really should do, shouldn't I? Because I would enjoy it. And a game you have completed. Now, I was actually going to pick something else. Well, I sort of picked this game first, then I was going to pick something else, and then I thought, no, I'll pick this. So the other game I was going to pick was Lilac Wars on the Nintendo 64. But I've only got the Japanese version of that. I don't have the PAL version of that anymore. So I suppose technically speaking, for these questions, they should be in your collection. So I went for a game that I've had from new all the way back in the day when I first got it, and it's Fire Shark. I've actually gone through all of the levels in Fire Shark, and it's a really good game. It's very much like the arcade game Flying Shark, and yeah, I really enjoy it, and that's my copy from back in the day. I've had it all this time, so one of the games that I didn't lose. My Mega Drive was sitting in a drawer down at my shack the whole time, so that's why I never lost it. Alright, they were really good questions, and you should go check out his channel as well. I'll put a link down below to his video. And as I said, really nice guy, and makes good videos as well, so check him out. Now on to Homebrew. I actually have quite a big Homebrew update. Well, the first part of it is I have finally finished and released one game, or two games if you count the number system. So I designed a new cover and have produced tapes with labels and everything like that of my original game from back in the day, Stranded, which is a text adventure. It's the largest text adventure I ever wrote. It actually requires, if you've got an original Spectrum Video 318, there's not enough memory. You need to have a 3 to 8 and thus more memory. MSX machines are fine because they all come with at least 32k of RAM. And it's just one of those games that describes the location you're in, and you can command what's happening by two-word command, up to two-word commands. And I wrote in total 3 of them back in the day, and there does seem to be a fair bit of interest in text adventures, plus I found originals that I could restore. Not so hard for the MSX because I have pretty much all the games on disc and the discs work, but my original Spectrum Video, I still don't have a working disk drive. I've given away most of my tapes to anything. I have found some tapes though, and I found a Stranded tape, so that's why I've managed to release that. So it's all these are completely brand new, remastered on the appropriate machine, so they're not dubbed tapes, because that obviously generally reduces the quality. So they're as good a quality as I can make them. Now the only other unfortunate thing is I live in Australia and we're virtually in a postage black hole. So I totally understand that these are not going to fly off the shelf to people overseas, because like I've got the tapes for $11 including GST. Overseas people don't pay GST, so you'll pay $10. But the smallest overseas postage thing I can do, to say like the UK, is $18.40, no matter what I put in it. So I will have some more titles out soon, so that people overseas can, you know, bundle up a few titles and get the value out of the postage. I mean, unless people want to get together and get a couple of copies and share the postage amongst themselves, so perfectly available. But anyway, I have a link on my Facebook page and my website to the shop that I've opened up for selling these, and also my, hang on, I'll just add a shot here, my previously released one that I did recently, which is my early years collection on disc, which contains about 35 games. I have also my book that I published in 1991 for the original Spectrum Video and MSX, which this is the form it was published in back then. I have because I lost the electronic copy, I have retyped that in. I'm just in the process of, so I've finished typing it in. It is all mostly laid out. I've got to read through it another couple of times to make sure I haven't made any typing mistakes back then and now. So it will be a revised edition. I'm going to take my 6 Beyond Basic articles and add them as an extra chapter in the book as well. And I may throw another couple of bonus, like there's some data tables in the back, and I've extended those a little bit and corrected them, because back then I didn't have all of the information available that's become available. So I've just padded those out a little bit. I've opened up an Amazon book publishing account, so I should be able to. So the book will be published from Amazon in the US, and there'll be an electronic version. So you'll be able to order it from the Amazon store, and they will basically print and ship to you, which will make the postage cheaper for everybody. It'll even be cheaper for me. So I could order a book from Amazon in the US and get it here cheaper than I could getting it from Amazon in Australia, because of our stupid postage rates. I've mentioned it in other videos, and I'm working with another friend on Atari Age to produce the game Berserk for the ColecoVision. It's going to be as arcade accurate as possible. I've already worked out the logic to draw the maze exactly as it was in the arcade, and that's working perfectly. And the guy I'm working with, Stephen, has designed a wonderful set of graphics. So he's already designed the main character, the robots, even Evil Otto, and fonts on a title screen and things like that. I do have some other projects that I need to finish off first, so other than over the holidays being curious and working out the maze logic, there won't be a lot of progress for a couple of months. But the main thing is it will include speech, even in, and it will support an unexpanded ColecoVision. If you have a super game module, a normal one, it will support the, it'll use the MSX chip in that one as well. And I will make an MSX version after the ColecoVision. And there is a voice chip coming out for the ColecoVision, and it will support that. And yeah, we're leaving it open to support, but it should still be a 32K cartridge, so it won't be very expensive. And ColecoVision will be publishing it as well in a nice box manual and everything like that, so you'll be able to buy it at all of the regular trade fairs that Gamester 81 visits up and down the US, but later in the year. Now I do have several of my other titles for the ColecoVision, and I have made a little bit more progress on those, but nothing specific to mention now. And the other project I'm working on, of course, which continues, is the Super Nintendo development that I'm helping out with ColecoVision at the moment. It's a 16-bit system, not an 8-bit system, so it's a bit slower going, but you know, the brain can only hold so much, and I'm getting up to speed, enjoying it. So much so that I've developed a bit of a passion for the Famicom and Super Nintendo, which I did a bit back in the day, but it's one of the systems that had all my stuff stolen, so I've never really collected for it. So I've sort of gone and started a bit of a Super Famicom collection. I haven't necessarily shown all of those in pickups because I just haven't had time, but I will do a room tour soon. The mess is slowly being cleaned up, and I've done a bit of a reorganisation, and I haven't done a room tour for ages. So in February 2016 there will be a room tour. I'm putting that down. I need to get it done. And my Let's Make a Retro Game will also resurrect itself. This might be less pickup videos. I only have so much time, so you'll excuse me if I don't make a pickup video for everything I have, because unless I have time to play it, I don't feel it's worthwhile doing a pickup video. I don't just like doing a pickup video where I go box, 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 and then I don't play games. It just doesn't feel right to me. It's just not me. It's right for other people, it's not right for me. Alright, hopefully I haven't rambled too long. I hope everybody had a great Christmas and New Year's and January now. I'm Electric Adventures. Thanks to all my subscribers, and I'll catch you next time.